Ladies and gentlemen, today is a pretty big day for Black Ops 4 because today we got the contracts blog. What this is a big post that Treyarch and Activision put out describing what are the new contracts in Black Ops 4, when we are getting them, how they are going to work, what modes they are in, and everything to do with that. We also got information about how weapon bribes are going to be changing as well. So in today's video, we're going to cover all of that, answer all of the questions about contracts, and dare I say it, they actually look pretty good. And as long as they stick to this system that they are showing us today, I have a feeling that the community is actually really going to like this. So what am I talking about? How is this going to work? And what are contracts in Black Ops 4? So this is what it appears as though contracts are going to look like in Black Ops 4. You have your global contract there to the left, and on the right, those are the contracts that you can actually pick and choose and decide what you want to do throughout a day. So they actually go in depth explaining how this is going to work, so I'm going to read to you exactly what they've said and then explain it to you. So to start things out, we have daily and active contracts. Players will have a global daily contract and 6 additional contracts to choose from in each of the 4 modes. 4 up to 28 available contracts to complete at any given time. Up to 3 contracts can be active at once, including 2 player-selected contracts and 1 daily contract for each game mode. So what the hell does that mean? Let me explain it to you. So basically in every single game mode, multiplayer, zombies, blackout, and world league, you are going to get 7 contracts per day. One of them is a global contract that everyone gets. So on screen here, the heist challenger is the global contract. For completing 5 games of heist, you get 1000 XP and 1 reserve. A pretty decent contract. I think there should be a little bit more reserves there, but that's beside the point. So that's your global contract. On top of that, there are 2 player selected contracts out of an additional 6 contracts. So the Handiwork and the Aerial Enforcer are player selected contracts. And the player selected contracts are picked from this screen here. So this one's for Blackout, but as you can see, there are 6 total challenges on screen that you can pick from, and you can complete all of these in one day. Plus on top of this, you would get a global contract for Blackout as well. The one that they are showing here is Solo Stalker. It is a hard challenge, and you have to place in the top 10 in 2 solo games. Honestly, a pretty easy hard contract if you ask me. So based off of what we're seeing here, the type of challenges that they are giving us and each mode, it appears as though it's going to be possible to get 28 additional reserves per day based off of the contracts we're seeing, which honestly is pretty incredible. We thought we were going to get 3 challenges per mode, maybe. 7 is pretty damn good if you ask me, especially if they keep it up, actually add good challenges, and on top of that, make it so that each one gives you a reserve or 2. That's pretty decent. So after this, they go on to explain some of the smaller, intricate details of these daily contracts. So let's dive into that. So next we have contract availability. Daily contracts will refresh every 24 hours. Players must complete their daily contract in each mode before the refresh, when a new daily contract will take its place. So what this is referring to is the global contract on the left, the heist challenger contract, as you can see on screen here. So this one will reset exactly every 24 hours, and if you don't complete it, you won't be able to the next day. However, the next thing that they say is activated contracts will refresh at a regular interval, and any of these contracts can be swapped out for another while retaining progress made until the contract pool refreshes. Currently activated contracts will never expire, and the progress made towards inactive contracts will be lost when the pool refreshes. So a little bit confusing there. Let me explain it in a very easy way. So the player selected contracts, like the ones on the right, the Handiwork and Aerial Enforcer, will never expire as long as they are selected. You can switch contracts from the pool selection at any time, and they will retain their progression until the contract pool resets. At the time that the contract pool resets, the only progression that you get to keep on your contracts is the 2 that you currently have selected in every single mode. All of the other contracts will get reset whether you've completed them or not. Now, the thing that you may notice about the statement, in fact, I'm going to leave it on screen here, even though I don't normally with the face cam, is that they don't say that the contracts of the pool of 6 will be reset every 24 hours. It specifically says on a regular interval. What I'm guessing that this means is that Treyarch and Activision haven't come to an agreement as to how often these contracts are actually going to reset. I would want them to be daily. I think a lot of people would enjoy and play the game more if they had 28 challenges to complete every day. But nowhere in this statement does it say 24 hours or daily or anything like that. It just says on a regular interval. So hopefully that means daily, but we'll have to wait and see. So just as a summary, in case there's any confusion, the daily contract on the left there will reset every 24 hours. As far as the player selected contracts on the right from the pool of 6 that we talked about before, we don't know how often those are going to reset. We just know that they will reset on a regular interval. Now, for those of you wondering, the regular reserve progression and the daily tier skips are still going to work the same way that they did before. That is what they say in the blog. It shouldn't change whatsoever. Now, as I mentioned before, Zombies is going to have these daily challenges too, and the way they explain these is that daily contracts will replace daily callings in Zombies, giving players new ways to earn reserves, Zombies XP, and Nebulum Plasma, in addition to the mode's extra daily tier skip. The second daily tier skip in Zombies will now be awarded when the Zombies daily contract is completed. So basically, the daily tier skip is still going to be possible to be done in Zombies, but you also get an extra tier skip when you complete the daily Zombies challenge as well. So the daily contract that we're talking about there is seen on the left, called the Touring Classic, that you complete when you play a total of 20 rounds of Classic in Zombies. For completing it, you get 1000 XP, a reserve, and a extra Zombies tier skip. This is on top of the tier skip that you get for completing 15 rounds as well. So it is nice to see Zombies get a little more love there, but the next thing we're going to talk about is weapon bribes. So this one is a little bit longer, so just bear with me. So it says, unlock more new weapons. In addition to contracts, we are making changes to how new weapon bribes will work in the future. In an upcoming update, we will introduce the new Ultra Weapon Bribe that will first reward a black market weapon that you don't own. Once you own any variant, base version, Mark II, etc. of all black market weapons in game, Ultra Weapon Bribes will then reward a Mark II weapon mastercraft or other variant that you haven't unlocked yet. So basically what this is a duplicate protected weapon bribe. It is first going to give you any weapon that you don't have. So if you don't have the Peacekeeper, Ballistic Knife, and Stingray, it'll give you one of those 3 weapons before it gives you a Mark II weapon or any other weapon variant that you already have. However, if you have all of the weapons in games, then it will reward you a Mark II weapon or another variant that you don't yet have. Pretty simple. This is the way basic weapon bribes should be, in my opinion, but hey, that's what I have to say. The next thing they say is standard weapon bribes will continue to work as they currently do, and all types of weapon bribes will remain duplicate protected until the player already owns every black market weapon, Mark II weapon, and mastercraft in the game. Basically, what this means is that the normal weapon bribe isn't changing at all. You can still get Mark II weapons out of it. You can still get mastercraft variants of weapons out of it as well. So you're not guaranteed a new weapon. The only one that guarantees you a new weapon is the Ultra Weapon Bribe. Speaking of which, the next thing they say is, we are planning to introduce a new special event later in Operation Spectre Rising, which will include an earnable Ultra Weapon Bribe through contraband. And players can expect to earn additional Ultra Weapon Bribes in the future to add more black market weapons to their collection. So basically what they're saying is that these Ultra Weapon Bribes will be earnable through a contraband stream coming at the end of Operation Spectre Rising. There's only 2 weeks left in Operation Spectre Rising, and next week is the 25th when they're adding contracts. So I'm guessing it'll come in July 2nd is when they're going to introduce the new Ultra Weapon Bribe. That is just my guess. I don't know this for sure, but that is really the only thing that makes sense, because after that, Operation Spectre Rising is over. So all in all, what are my thoughts on all of this? So starting with the Ultra Weapon Bribe, I don't really understand it. I don't know why they just don't change the way the normal weapon bribe works. That way it guarantees you a weapon in the first place, and then they don't have to put a new asset into the game. I don't understand that. I don't think I'll ever understand that, but hey, that's what they want to do. It's nice that we're going to be able to earn one through the contraband stream coming, I guess, in 2 weeks. Moving on to contracts. What do I think of those? As far as the contracts that they've showed us, the amount of reserves you earn is a little bit low for what you have to do, but there is a lot of them. In every mode, there is 7, 28 total. I think that's pretty good. The idea of earning 28 reserves is pretty damn good. As far as the difficulty of the contracts, they don't seem too hard. Honestly, the hard contract that they showed us, get in the top 10 twice in a solo blackout match, pretty easily. Generally, it will take me about 2 to 3 blackout matches to do that. So a pretty simple contract, and you get some reserves out of it. Now, as far as the thing that I am worried about, I am worried that the personal contracts, the ones that you select and that you can pick 2 of at a time, I'm worried that those are going to reset weekly or even longer, because as we mentioned before, it doesn't say that they're going to reset daily, just on a regular rotation. So whatever the hell that means, hopefully it is daily, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. Sometimes when Call of Duty or Treyarch implements things and it sounds too good to be true, it might. So I just don't want to get my hopes up too much and think all 7 contracts are going to be on a daily rotation when they're not. They're actually going to be on a weekly rotation. So I'm just keeping my expectations tempered at the moment. So honestly, this is a massive step forward for Black Ops 4. I think this is a great system that they're implementing, kind of trying to take a page out of Call of Duty World War II's books. The only really big thing that I think we're going to hear a lot of is, why didn't they implement this sooner? Why didn't they implement this as soon as they put reserves in the game? Or even better, why wasn't this in there at the launch of the game? Because especially with all these XP reserves, a lot of people are already Master Prestige or level 1000 even, and don't need to level up faster by completing these contracts. So why did it take them so long? I don't really know, but it's nice that they're there now. Let's think of the positives at least. But ladies and gentlemen, that is the contract system. That is the Ultra Weapon Bribe. Hopefully I explained it in a way where everyone could understand it. And if you did, I would really appreciate it if you could hit that like button. Also, if you're new to the channel and like what you see here, the best way to stay up to date on all my videos is make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you have notifications on. And as always, let me know what you think of these contracts down in the comments below. I'm really curious to hear what you guys have to say. But guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, guys, peace out.